This will probably be the last time you ever hear me mention soccer again, but I just like to use it as a jumping off point for something. So England are obviously in the finals tonight against Spain in the Euros, okay? They've played terribly, they haven't been great, but they have a quality team, so they might win, they might not win. Spain are good as well, right? Anyway, as an Irish person, and as an Irish person in the day and age that I'm in now, that we're in now, there's a part of me that wants England to win. Not even wants them to win, but I foresee a potential benefit to them winning that will then benefit me and the Irish people, but perhaps not in the short term. Okay, so what I mean by that is this: England has gone from centuries of sitting atop of the world. Okay, some would argue that they still do, but more in a subterranean way with banking networks and stuff like that. More soft power, okay? But if you're a controller or an emperor of the world, would you rather be able to do that by kind of pounding your chest every now and again and showing people your power? Or would you rather do that by having to conceal it, to maintain it, okay? It depends on the person, but you get my point. So England has gone from this standing up front, beating its chest against the world for centuries. The centre of the world, to a large degree, okay? But now that empire has crumbled and disintegrated, and England, the English people on their native soil, are in a desperate battle for their very existence, okay? And with the fall of from such eminent positions as was the British Empire, okay, with their world famous and renowned aristocracy and royal families and pedigree, all that good stuff, they seen themselves as probably the rulers of the earth, okay, the chosen people, so to speak. And bang, just like that, with a pull of the rug, it's gone from them. And to a large degree, one of the central pillars that maintains, in which the English people orient themselves around to a solid degree, is soccer. Okay? So, if England were to go on and win a competitive tournament for the first time since '66 in soccer, this could rejuvenate and reanimate a certain self-respect in the British people, in the English people at least, the English people. Which could spill over into other areas of their lives, okay, and could spill over into other areas of culture that aren't directly involved with football. That could be a benefit. In the short term, it could be disastrous for Ireland, because if they go gung-ho into cleaning up shop and getting rid of people they don't want there and declaring their ownership of their land again, and its people and its land and the destiny involved in all of them, okay? Then a lot of those people, as we're seeing already, they'll just make their way into Northern Ireland, and they'll make their way into Ireland. They'll make their way into Ireland, right? Which is bad news for us. However, if we actually develop some level of self-respect as people, I'm not even talking about the politicians. They are after declaring what they are. It's up to us to accommodate that, accept that, and move forward in what we're doing. Okay? So if we then develop a bit of self-respect and clean house too, great. But if we don't, and we continue to allow what's going on now, we will be flooded by what England are saying no to. So that's the downside of that. The positive side of that is if we clean house too and begin to assert ourselves in our own home again, then we have an extra barrier in England. A prideful England again, okay? Self-respecting and self-determined people who see themselves as a people again. We've an extra barrier against what could be, what has flooded Europe and what might maintain in certain countries. I don't believe it will. But we would have another natural barrier besides the Irish Sea, okay? And I think that that's a positive. And I think that we can start, like in the Dark Ages or whatever, where Irish monks brought learning back into Europe. We can start to push back again, and we can start to develop something more positive. Because you'd be absolutely sick of talking about this stuff. Wouldn't you? Like, absolutely sick of it. This stuff seems so common sense. Children will come up with better ways of running things than what is going on right now. And the fact that a load of adults won't recognise that as such, and they attempt to explain away what's going on with, oh, sure, they're pure, just stupid up there, they don't know what they're doing. A child will see that for what it is. If you push a child on the floor a few times, the child will just stop going near you. They'll just see you as a bad person, and they'll maintain that. And that's, how honest is that? Okay? But you've adults who constantly explain away evil actions, and they couch it in terms like stupidity or being tick or just having a clue or cut off or whatever the case is. So, and that needs to go. Because, like I said, you'd be sick of talking about this stuff. And the last thing I think anybody reasonable wants to do is spend their life talking about stuff that bothers them. You know? And I think that there's a marriage there somewhere between nourishing your own life and getting the best out of yourself that you can and that you feel you want to, versus pointing out all the ins and ills of the world. Because they do, there's a relationship there, right? There's a symbiotic relationship. So the less you put into yourself, the more the world is able to take from you, because you offer it to them. If you're not your own priest, there's a religious desire or a religious urge in man for an understanding or for a knowledge of what the meaning in the world and meaning of life is. Okay? So when you forego that, you hand that responsibility over to other people who tell stories, weave narratives, and create histories, and dictate what your future is as a result of that. Okay? So every duty as a human being that you forego and deny your responsibility to, you're actually just handing that power and responsibility over to somebody else, and they will use that according to their own nature. Okay? So England being a positive thing, an English victory being a positive thing for Ireland, absolutely it can be. Ultimately, I don't really care that much, but let the best team win.